Are you feeling down? Do you need a pick me up? Do you catch yourself blaming everyone else for your problems? Maybe you should. Or maybe you should take two of these and call me in the morning. For wreck. Why? Chapter 4, that's why. Welcome to Straight from the Book. This is Chapter 4, Leisure and Well-Being. What does leisure have to do with our well-being? Everything. In this chapter, we explore leisure's role in our physical, social, emotional, and intellectual growth and well-being throughout our lives. According to the book, well-being is a process that not only gives people a sense of how their lives are going, but also provides for the resources to cope with difficult life circumstances as they come along. People who have high levels of well-being also contribute more positively to the quality of community life and make the world a better place to live for others. The dynamic process of well-being stretches across the lifespan. So we focus on leisure and how it relates while we're young, and then as we mature, we grow older, and eventually we die. A lifespan understanding of this cycle means we view human life as an uninterrupted sequence. The importance of leisure's role in physical development and healthy functioning remains strong throughout our lifespan, but the nature of its role changes. The physical benefits from leisure shift from developing motor control in children to sustaining health during the middle years, to reducing the decline in physical capabilities in older adulthood. According to the CDC, today in the U.S., the average life expectancy is 78.7 years for all races and both genders. You're probably asking yourself, how does leisure assist us in achieving this average? Well, basically, if you live a healthy lifestyle, including regular participation in active leisure pursuits, you can expect to actually add up to 10 quality years to the 78.7 years. Of course, all this leisure and rec begins when we're young, as an infant, maybe 2 years of age. Early play experiences are crucial for the development of skills such as running, kicking, walking, pulling, pushing, and other non-motor skills, all of which increase our muscle control and coordination. Here's an example. If a baby is given a set of brown blocks, the act of stacking the blocks one on top of the other helps a baby's physical abilities, not their cognitive or their emotional abilities. Keep that in mind because you might see that again. Between the ages of about 6 and 12, the amount of muscle tissue doubles and flexibility increases, and thus physical play continues to be a necessary developmental tool, particularly for promoting normal bone growth and strength. Overall, to put it bluntly, children would not grow up without play. Increased motor control does not occur automatically. The child's body develops in large part from the physical demands placed on it. Furthermore, childhood activity levels are strong predictors of physical activity later in life. I grew up focusing more on work and less on leisure activities. So it sounds like I can blame my parents for not making the NFL. I always thought it was my fault. Continuing on with my childhood complexes, according to the CDC, childhood obesity has more than tripled in the past 30 years. This has prompted schools to reestablish recess and PE, as it was taken out in a lot of schools between 1997 and 2003. According to the Shang and Hanga study, an inverse relationship between obesity and happiness exists. Due to a loss of self-esteem, the more overweight the child, the more likely he or she is to feel unhappy. Play does not only help the physical realm, but it helps the social development of a young child. A kid can become aware of family relationships, of themselves as girls or as boys, and of what is good behavior for getting along with others. As children become increasingly more effective at communicating and better at understanding the thoughts and feelings of others, the amount and quality of peer interaction increases. Playing with peers develops such social skills as empathy, role-taking, self-control, and sharing. So help your brother and sisters out. Get married, have children, allow them to play with their cousins. It'll only benefit your kids and theirs. Interaction with other children will increase their intellectual well-being, primarily their cognitive skills. They will gain meaning and knowledge from experience and information through pure, unrestricted play. We don't always have to force numbers and the alphabet and colors down their throat. They can learn a great deal from just playing with other children. There's a study here in the book that have compared the performance of children attending academic preschools with those attending play-oriented preschools. The results showed no advantage in reading and math achievement for children attending the academic preschools, but there was evidence that those children had higher levels of test anxiety, were less creative, and had more negative attitudes towards school than did the children attending the play preschools. Most of this information is just echoing John Piaget's theory of cognitive development. Let's take a look at that.
J'aimerais dire d'abord deux mots de l'idée centrale de notre épistémologie génétique, parce qu'elle est presque toujours mal comprise. Les uns me prennent pour un empiriste, et même pour un néo-behavioriste, comme l'a fait Berline, parce que je soutiens que la connaissance part de l'action exercée sur les objets. Or, une action sur les objets, c'est pas du tout la même chose que tirer la connaissance des objets eux-mêmes. Il y a donc là une première confusion. Les autres me trouvent au contraire néo-maturationnistes ou même innéistes, étant donné que je fais appel à l'action du sujet. Mais ils oublient que l'action du sujet, c'est justement une action sur les objets qui a par conséquent interaction et pas action à sens unique. Autrement dit, je ne suis ni empiriste ni innéiste, mais je suis constructiviste. C'est-à-dire que je pense que la connaissance est affaire de continuelle construction nouvelle par interaction avec le réel et ne sont pas préformées. Il y a créativité continuelle. J'aimerais donc montrer en quoi la connaissance n'est pas préformée, ni dans les objets, ni dans le sujet, mais qu'il y a toujours auto-organisation et par conséquent une continuelle construction et reconstruction.
New babies aren't quite sure what happens to objects when they leave their sight. Sky's mom keeps disappearing and reappearing. No wonder peekaboo is so much fun. During their first year, however, infants will learn an important concept: object permanence. Everything has a life of its own, even if it is out of sight.
At Maya's age, babies know to look for the object, but they might not have everything else straight. 10-month-old Simon is about to make a classic mistake. Although he watched us place the toy plane under the white cloth, he'll look for it where he last found it, not where he watched us hide it.
Can you look at these two glasses? Do you think that they have the same amount of juice? You think they have the same? Okay. Now we're going to pour this juice into this glass. Now, do you think that this glass has more juice, this glass has more juice, or do you think that they have the same amount?
That one has more.
This one has more, and why do you think that this one has more?
Because it's taller.
The book asks, if unstructured play is so crucial to intellectual development, why is it disappearing? In American society over the last 2 decades, children have lost 8 hours of free, self-initiated play per week. Increasingly, children are placed into leader-led organized play programs with prescribed behaviors, start and stop times, and expected outcomes. Due perhaps to increasing numbers of single and working parents, children's play is being outsourced to coaches, teachers, and play leaders. I feel this next clip indirectly sums up the concerns of this section.
It says, if you hit a glass with a hammer, the glass will break.
I knew that.
And then this one says, Dawn hit a glass with a hammer.
I knew that too.
So what happened to the glass?
It broke
It broke. Why did it break?
because the hammer's hard.
If you hit a glass with a feather, the glass will break.
No, it won't.
And this is the second rule. Dawn hit a glass with a feather. What happened to the glass?
Nothing.
Nothing happened. Why didn't anything happen?
Because the feather's soft.
If you hit a glass with a feather, the glass will break.
Okay.
And the second one, Dawn hit a glass with a feather. What happened to the glass?
It broke.
And why did it break?
Because the rule says if you hit a glass with a feather, it'll break. So if you hit a glass with a feather, it broke.